We have a 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, and the customer brought it over because the car stopped running. Let me show you what it's doing. It's at limp mode, or does not have power, or it's got a lot of codes on there. So it starts right up and it says check hybrid system, turn off engine. So if you try to move it, it does not move. Okay, well, it tried to move and it just stopped. Let's see, let's turn it off and let's turn it back on. Alright, so the engine's off now. Alright, let's put it in D. See, I'm giving it some gas. It's trying to move, but it's like it can move a little bit. Let's put it in reverse. It sure can move, but it's got all these errors and codes, and it's not driving right. So we're gonna try to check, see what's going on. So also one thing noticed is the battery lights. Battery light is coming in and out. So see, I'm trying to just move it back in the bay so we can look at, see what's going on. See here, the battery light came on, and if you look at the gauge on the left side, it's all the way to off position. So that's what's happening. So we want to look at the battery physically to see what's going on, if there's any kind of issues that we can see here. One thing I noticed right away is that there's a lot of moisture here. I see fluid, like moisture, on top of the battery. Now that could definitely cause issues. We're gonna take the top shield off and see what we see under there. But I don't know if you can see it in the video, the moisture, but let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. See those dots? That's water or moisture dots. Anytime when you're working on a hybrid system, electrical system, especially on a hybrid, you definitely want to remove the battery terminal. It is recommended that we remove the negative terminal. Once the battery terminal has been removed, we will go ahead and start removing the bolts for the shield. Okay, so let's carefully put these bolts aside and lift off the shield. and as we can see, there's the fuse. That's actually the disconnect. So that will be the next step. We would want to disconnect, remove that disconnect. So in order to remove the disconnect, there's a little green tab. You push it and it comes out, and then once that comes out, you push on the green again and it starts to release the disconnect. So there's the disconnect on a 2016 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. We got the disconnect out and we disassembled it, the cover, and this is actually the fuse that's in there. DC 350 volts, 175 amp. First thing we want to do is check to see if there's continuity, if the fuse is okay. So we got one side already connected. Try to connect the second, and it looks like the fuse is reading good. So we have the battery shield off, and the first thing we noticed is there's a bunch of fiber here and tissues. I mean, this does not look normal. So it looks like something's like living in here or something. Like this stuff, I don't believe this is supposed to be there. So I'm gonna clean that up first. So guys, here's what I found. The car's running really good after we dried up the moisture here and cleaned up whatever that thing was over there, whatever the animal or something was living inside looked like. Replaced the disconnect, which is, I just took it off again to let it dry, but that fixed the problem. I just went on the highway, went on 70, and it had no problems, no lights, nothing, and I scanned it again. I scanned the codes, no codes are coming up, so looks like it just had some moisture in it, which just needed to be dried up. Hope this helps somebody. If you're having a similar issue, first thing, check, see if there's any kind of water bottle or something that leaked. In this case, I think there were a bunch of water bottles inside the trunk, and one of them did leak, which caused some issues. So we tried to take the moisture out, the fluids out, but looks like they're still fluids or water at the bottom of the battery, or that area, the metal area down there, still has some water in it. So what we're gonna do is remove this battery and try to dry as much as we can the area. So in order to remove the battery, we will take this bolt out, this one right there, that, this one, and this bolt right here. And we'll also remove this small bolt, and there's another one in this area after we remove this trim. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so first thing we're gonna try to do is disconnect all the harnesses. So for example, remove all the plugs. That's one. There, we'll remove that bolt. There's another harness here. Let's go with number 10. now we'll go with the big bolts. So we're gonna use a 17mm socket. So there are two bolts I see right here for this went. Since the battery was so heavy, we ended up using engine cherry picker to lift it out of the vehicle. And let me show you the water. There is this, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is like liquid right there. It's still a lot of fluids right there. So we're gonna try to dry it out and see and put everything back together. We just dropped the battery back in after about 2-3 hours. We try to dry all the water out. Everything looks very dried and ready to go. So this is kind of how we did it. It was not hard with the cherry picker engine lifter. If you don't have one of these, you may need 2 or 3 people to get the battery out. So now we tighten all the bolts back. And we reconnected all the harness. All the connectors are reconnected. And we're gonna put the shield back on. So we just finished putting everything back together. Now we're gonna take it for a test drive, see how it does. Alright, there we go. So far no message. Looking good so far. Just put my seatbelt out. We're gonna take it to the highway. Go about 70 miles an hour and see how everything runs. Yeah, looks good. Everything seems to be running very good. So most definitely the moisture and the water was the issue that was causing for messages to come up for it to lose power. Let's go on the highway. yeah, looking good. I think everything is good on it. We're good to go.